Chair recognizes Representative Mabra for a morning order.
Representative Scott. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Growing up, I always wanted to be a hero. We even had the pastor mention some heroes in his speech earlier this morning, and I used to watch heroes on television and go to the movies. Heroes, what they did, they saved people who were faced with danger and harm. And we have a true life hero here amongst us today. Chuck Faison, will you please stand up? Now don't clap yet. Let me tell you why Chuck is standing up. Chuck is a maintenance worker at Weatherly Walk Apartments in Fayetteville, Georgia. 2 weeks ago today, he got a call at the main office saying that there was a fire by our apartment. So Chuck and his coworker, they go out with fire extinguishers to put out a brush fire, what they thought was going to be. They get there and find out the entire apartment building is on fire. Chuck, thinking quickly on his feet, tells his coworker to go turn off the gas to the apartment. At that time, Chuck goes around the apartment building, banging on doors, knocking out windows, and finally came across a young lady with an infant child trapped in a second-story apartment. The lady was trying to jump out of the apartment building with her baby in hand, and Chuck said, "Hold, drop the baby, I will catch your baby." And she said, okay. She trusted Chuck. She dropped the baby out of the window. Chuck caught the baby, ran and took the baby to safety, then came back and assisted the mother in climbing out of the second-story apartment. He didn't stop then. He kept going throughout the apartment and found an elderly lady praying in her apartment. And I told Chuck that she was praying for him because he saved her. She did not even know that there was a fire in the building. Chuck saved 3 lives 2 weeks ago. The entire building was destroyed. There was a lot of victims. No lives were lost, but a lot of memories. But Chuck did not stop then. He even provided shelter, opened up empty apartments, gave them mattresses, food, and blankets. Chuck is a true hero. Let's give a round of applause to Chuck.
My nephew. You have to tell him that's my nephew. My nephew.
And Representative Scott is here with me today because this hero is her nephew. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Glanton for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, speaking of heroes, I come to you this morning with great pride and relief to ask you to help me welcome back to the United States of America my son, Sergeant McCullough Glanton, and his unit, the 3rd of the 320th Field Artillery Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division. The unit returned last night at 6 p.m. East Coast time to Fort Campbell, Kentucky from Afghanistan. Last night, my son saw for the first time his 6-month-old daughter, my newest granddaughter. We thank you, the members of this body, for your prayers and simply say, welcome home, son, welcome home.
Chair recognizes Representative Flood and Representative Mabra for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And no, we are not here to proclaim this 40th Legislative Day officially Seersucker Day, but rather we're here to recognize a group of constituents who've come down to visit the Capitol on this morning. You know, quite often when we're talking to constituents back in our districts or communicating with them through newsletters or phone calls or town hall meetings, we talk about what goes on at the Capitol and give them as much of a vision of that as we possibly can. But as you can imagine, there's no better way to see and really feel what goes on in this chamber than to have members of your district to come down and physically be a part of this whole process. And so today I'd like to recognize a group of constituents from the Pointer Ridge subdivision in South Fulton, led by Miss Kathy Adams, who've come here to see what goes on in the Capitol this morning. If you guys would please stand and be recognized.